Generic greetings and welcome to Construction Plus Prison Architect Alpha 30 episode 7. In the previous episode we planned on doing the workshop, which is this thing up the top right, and I never got it done. I got close to getting it done. As you can see, we've got the power station and capacitors in there in a nice little separate room to power everything when we actually put it in, which will be this episode, I promise. But yeah, I think I've broken that promise several times, and for some reason the workshop is just a blind spot. We never ever get it done, but hopefully this episode, we'll get the other common room done, which is down the bottom here, and I might even make some changes around the prison, especially to the yard, because obviously we have two very large yards. I mean, these are... There's no real point in the size of them. I mean, they're big enough, right? I mean, to be fair, I think the minimum size is like 5 by 5, so we could have a lot smaller, but that will do. What I was thinking of doing maybe is sort of splitting it in half and have a bit of it as forestry, but I'm not really sold on that. It's just what a lot of people have been saying in the comments, so maybe we'll get onto that, maybe we won't. But we've still got a lot of things to do. As you can see, turf's getting put in. I did turf the entire thing at the end of the last episode, and also we've got things like flooring to put in. We haven't got any tiles. We've got additions to the yards, whether we change them or not, because we have to put in benches and weights, lifting sets and things like that. So there's a lot to do still, a lot to do. So without further ado, I think I will put some flooring in, because it's about time we really get on that. I've got 48,276 generic units of currency, 48 prisoners, so it's not bad at all. We are making a bit of a profit of 1,379 per day, and that's a really, really long dog leash. Right, so we will go to materials, and then we need to put the floor in. We're going to use stone flag floors we do for pretty much all of these things. It's just not tradition, it's just what I like the look of, so we'll just put them in like so. Actually, do I want to do that? Yes, I want pretty much stone flag everywhere, I think. Something like that, but then I want to change it in the center, so we won't have it all the way in the center. We'll have a little bits like, we'll have this run down like that, and then we'll change it so it's just a bit different in the center, but I'll see how it goes. I'll see what it goes. Anyway, I will unpause it because they are happily getting on with that. I'm sure I'll have missed a couple of pieces off because of the way I've done it, but hey ho, what can be done? Right, let me put these bits in here. Obviously, we'll find out exactly what it's like once it's all sorted. I mean, there's little bits there that we missed out. That's fine. We'll get on with that. These chunks here, these are the bits I'm on about that are different than missing. I think we'll put in... I don't know. I want something that's fast, walk speed fast, but I guess we could put these sort of dark tiles in. That might look interesting. And that's all it is. It's just making it look a little bit less stone flag floory. There we go. We're going to speed it to actually not double fast speed, because I think it lags out, it glitches out a little bit. I'm going to do a full shakedown, I think, because we've got 208 spaces to search, and we haven't done a search for, at least half a day. So I think it's about time we get on with that one. A couple of comments, people saying that we haven't got CCTV. Yes, I understand, we should get that up at some point, but for the most part, we don't really have a problem with, well, we certainly don't have a problem with violence, although my danger level is currently increasing. We don't have a problem with contraband as such. I mean, people are stealing things. As you can see, we've got things like... the cell phone there, we've got some SIG spoons and such, but nothing we know. There's no jackhammers or, you know, or explosive devices or anything like that, like just sort of smuggled in. So that's really not a big problem, is it? What I'm talking about is, like, you know, big heavy machinery. They aren't nicking that from the workshop, mainly because it doesn't work at the moment, but also because of the way we have the prison set up. So we've got metal detectors pretty much everywhere. Or rather, we've got metal detectors in the places that count. So, for example, you cannot go into the canteens, any or either of them, without going through a metal detector. You have to go through a metal detector. So, yeah, that's always a good way of ensuring that nothing's, you know, nothing gets nicked. Like I say, danger level is still increasing there. Or if it does get nicked, rather, it will be found very, very quickly. It looks like most of this is done. Danger level is still increasing, and I want to know why. So, 25 prisoners have serious complaints. Let's have a quick look. Most of them saying unnecessary search recently. I mentioned about the violence earlier, but I haven't had any for a while. There's a big need for food. That's That's really bad. Right. Let's just pause it for a moment. Let's check. We got meal variety and quality is high. Parole cutoff doesn't affect that. We just need to check our logistics. So we'll just go to our logistics tab. Then food distribution. Everybody is assigned to... Ooh, there's the problem. Everybody's assigned to that one. So you need to go there and there. And this one needs to be going there and there. That's the problem. Yeah, it was automatically assigning it to just one canteen. So, yeah, we might have a bit of violence on this one. The game, yeah, it's smart enough, but sometimes it makes stupid decisions. Bit like me, actually. Right, so 41,000 generic units of currency. Speaking of stupid decisions, I'm going to spend loads of money now, and I'm going to go to metal detectors, and I'm going to... That's a sprinkler. I'm going to go to metal detectors, and then take two. We're going to shove this in there. There we go. Snip, snip. No one would ever know that that happened. Right. Shove them all in. It's a lot of money here, but it is worth it. It means that nothing comes in or out of this cell block without us knowing about it, which is good. So we'll check our power grid here. Power grid's running at half capacity. That's fine. A couple of other comments. People have said we should probably assign some more people to the kitchen. Well, just general work, and I agree. I haven't really done that in a while, so let's go to deployment and then to... Actually, it's not in deployment, is it? It's in logistics, I believe. Yes. There's everybody assigned to that. Some more people assigned to laundry, because we might as well. And then we'll assign everybody we can to the workshop, everybody you can to there. Right, so everybody's assigned pretty much everywhere. We're not going to assign so many people to laundry that it's not going to do anything. Or do we? Let's have a quick look here. Let's go to logistics and prison labour. So we can have a maximum of 13. Plus 6 for that one there. So that's 19. Plus 20 there, that's 39. That's 7, so that's 46. And then plus another 9, that's over 50. So, yeah, we can't have everybody assigned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That'll be about right. We probably undo a couple from the laundry just because we don't need it. I'd rather have people work in the jobs that they can do rather than the laundry. Obviously, everybody can work in the laundry, but the kitchen and everything else, you do have to actually have some sort of training course and stuff. So, yeah, looks like we've got spiritual leader here. There we go, spiritual leader doing a bit of spiritual guidance here. Oh, on the prayer mats as well. Cool. And they're talking about food and literacy. Maybe that's what they're praying for. Please, I really want to read. And that guy's going, I really, really hope we've got... I really, really hope they've got pasta. I bloody love pasta. Yeah, that's what he's thinking. Maybe not. I don't think anybody thinks that about pasta. Although I haven't ate since yesterday dinner time, and it's 11 o'clock the following day. So I'm getting a bit hungry myself. I'd love a bit of pasta about now. Right. So, let me get... Oh, I was going to say, shall I get rid of that? Or shall I keep it? Because I can guarantee there's someone, maybe you, looking at that going, oh, OCD inducing. Don't worry, I'll fix it, look. I'll connect it up. Oh, that'd annoy you, wouldn't it? Yeah, let's just let's just fix that. There we are. Right, so... 21 grand remaining. Let me just go to a bit of the old white tiles, and there we will white tile this entire area down there. I think that should do us quite nicely. We should really put the those small pipes around here. There we go. And then also go to our shower heads, and there we go. We've got a bit of violence going on. Let me just pause it for a second while I put this in. Then I want to see where this violence is going down at. It is, strangely, Warren Pigeon. Pigeon, obviously. He is currently bashing up a visitor table, and our guard is taking care of business. There we go. I think Baton is beating fists. Yeah, we've just punched him into a wall. There we go. So, food time almost. Food time almost. As soon as that happens, then this will, I reckon my danger level will fly straight down. I don't think we'll have any problems with that. So, here we go. Oh, another bit of violence. A little bit of ultra-violence. Where's a bit of ultra-violence going? Why can't they place them there? That's an interesting one. They can't place them there. I'm guessing it's something to do with the routing from the storage. Here they are, the piling in, the piling in, the piling in, and the piling in. One room for some reason. Pause. Logistics, laundry distribution is actually set up. Food distribution is set up as well. I will actually manually select that as well. There we go. So it's gonna set both. It automatically selected both, but for some reason it's only supplying the one. I thought 2 canteens with 1 kitchen would function, and yeah, I was wrong. It doesn't really do that at all. Although by the look of it, are they hungry? Yeah, there is a need for food there. Yeah, that's not working. That looks like that isn't working properly. Although we can almost have all of our prisoners in one area, and by the look of it, there is actually enough food here for all of the prisoners. So what they can do, they can head in and they can have a little nosh on the food, while basically they have to wait for seats. That's what it is. It's like walking into a fancy restaurant and not having a reservation. It's like, damn it, I've still got my suit on, so they're probably gonna let me in. But oh, I'm sorry, we're fully booked. And then you sneak the guy a cheeky £5 note, and he's like, I'll get you in. I mean, I don't know what sort of fancy restaurant I've been going to with sneaking him a £5 note and he'll let you in. That's not really very fancy, and it's a little bit cheap as well. Gourmet McDonald's. Right, okay. So, there's been a lot of food talk in this episode already. Let's get on with a bit of flooring, actually. We'll get on with a bit more flooring. We'll go to our white tiles, and then we'll do a bit of white tileage around this entire place. That's the technical term, white tileage. There we go. And I think that's all we really need to do. Concrete tiles are placed. There's a concrete tile there. We should really get on and put some concrete tiles around here as well. And I always like metal floor in the power area for some reason. It just sort of makes sense to me. The visitation, I think we will go with a wooden floor, but before I do that, I think I'm going to stop there, because I realise that I'm getting a bit too far ahead of myself, and I'm not running out of money, but it's something that I do need for the workshop, which I've promised that I will get done. Here we go. Here's a bit of parole. We've got a parole officer, and we have a light. No, it's well, we do have a light in there. We've got a parole lawyer as well. So this is Tim France, sentenced to 6 years for rioting, and if we just look at his grading, he has a reoffending chance of 2%. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. I'm guessing he's just been paroled, so there he goes. You can see it says released, so he's going to disappear, and hopefully everything will be up. Why is that one not automatically opening? Let me guess. Let me just go logistics. It's not logistics. It's in this one here. Oh yes, that isn't actually connected up. There we go. There's too many things that should be connected. There is actually a tidy wires option, and you can actually tidy wires now, which is a interesting one. So you go to show wires, and there's all of your wires there, and then you can go to tidy wires, and I thought you should show wires, tidy wires. So how do you do it? So how do you tidy wires then? I thought you tidy wires just by clicking on them. That is really weird. That's a tidy wire. I have no idea how that thing works. That one moved down to there and balls to it. Right, still up, just to keep a messy clump of wires, I don't care. Okay, I'm sure I did try that before and it worked fine. Looks like that guy's left, and $3 grand for early release prisoner reward. So we're now starting to actually get to what we were planning on originally. Was the whole point in this prison, and indeed you could argue every prison should be about reform, about teaching the rights and wrongs and what they've done wrong, and then trying to reform them so they can go back out in society and not stab a pensioner. So obviously the whole point is that we are trying to reform them, and we've got the chapel, we've got the parole, obviously checking to see if that's going to be okay. Don't know what the chapel's doing. Maybe, you know, saying, oh, God says you shouldn't kill, although many people have claimed otherwise. And then you've got, no, God says you shouldn't kill, but in a very, very specific yet broad circumstances you can. Let's just not get onto that rant. We've also got the schoolroom, which is obviously doing a bit of book learning in there. We've got the yard, which can probably teach them a bit of sports. And we've got the solitary, which teaches them a bit of respect. Anyway, let us get on with the workshop. So we currently have 20 grand. Not enough to complete the workshop, but enough to get some stuff in. So I think we could go for probably a 50-50 distribution here. So let's just see. 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6, 7. We can have 7 pieces of equipment in there. And then if we have it like this, having a bit of a gap down the centre, because what I plan on doing, which I don't think I've ever done before, have that like that. Obviously we don't need that bit there. We can have some tables down the centre. Does that make sense? Does that work? I mean, it does work, but we don't want to do it. I can't see why not. Can't see why not. I'm going to have a table there, then a table there, then a table there. Because then there's gaps in between them so you can walk around them, because otherwise it'd be a big pain. Then we'll have workshop saw 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on the other side presses 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't really do any more than that because it will start getting very expensive, so we're not going to bother. And strangely, because of the way I've placed these, I'm going to actually have to put in a couple more electrical cable selections. I don't have to put them here. Selections? Sections, that's the one. I don't have to put them there because these automatically come with them and they'll be put on the right hand side. Okay, so this is all in. What I do want to do, I want to put in a metal detector and I want to put it on the outside. So we'll go back to our brick wall and we'll put a bit of brick wall either side there, and then we'll go to metal detector and probably just clink it in. About there. Job done. Right, is that going to be powered up? It is not going to be powered up, so we'll put an electrical cable there as well. Right, okay, 6,067 generic units of currency, receiving 1,243 per day. We have 45 prisoners and we can have a maximum of 50. Let me just check our valuation here. No prisoners escaped, no deaths, no... well, nothing that's... overbearing actually on when it comes to the minus side of things. Nothing really knocking us down. Starting grant obviously is in there, but as on a whole, looks okay there. 210,000 is what this prison is worth, plus or minus you know, a couple of grand depending on what we're producing and things like that. No loans, so we're not in debt with anyone. That's fine. We have almost got our long-term investment completed. That's good. Okay. So I'm going to go to prisoners and just check. That guy's being released. Yeah, that's what I want to see because I'm sure a couple of these are going to be released shortly. He'll disappear off this side any minute. In fact, is he sitting around? No, he's not. We've got 4 prisoners, 3 staff members exhausted. We got 1 due for release soon and 3 up for parole. So obviously we've got parole hearings as much as we can. There's a guy there, look. Ed Winner, spirituality is off the dial. You couldn't see his thing. It actually said spirituality under his status effect. So that was pretty good. Cool. Right. What do we need to do? What we need to do is get some more prisoners, but I don't know how many we need until the morning. So I'll wait until the morning and then I'll get some more in. So let's have a little look at this yard. Now the yard, as I said, it's a bit too big for our prisoners' needs. So I was going to half it. Don't know which way. Or I could just have one as yard and one as... I could have one as yard and one as forestry maybe, but I'm also thinking that this building here doesn't have a purpose. Really doesn't have a purpose as far as I can see. So what I might do, I think if we go to bulldoze and get rid of it, because we just don't have any purpose. There's no purpose. It doesn't serve any purpose whatsoever. We could have had some laundry in there. We could have had many other things, but we just didn't bother. Just didn't bother with it because it functions as is. So, well, I mean, the other buildings rather function just fine. There's no problems with them. We can fit everything in, so we don't need to do that. So I'm not going to bother. Let me just go to planning here and remove the 2 walls on that side because we don't need that. In fact, is there any other planning that do we need to keep? Not really. I'm going to remove them bits there. This is where we've got our morgue. I might as well. See, we're getting onto the sort of, not the finishing touches, but we're getting close to a point where we can start thinking about other things. There we go. There's that all gone. We'll just go to our materials and I'm going to put grass down. Slight problem is it'll probably be undone once I put the forestry in. Let me just get rid of that bit of planning there. Go back to rooms. Go to our forestry and then we need to put a bit of forestry in. Now I don't want to put it too close to the building, so I think there is about right. And obviously we're going to buy some trees there. And we actually have a bit of forestry now, right next to the workshop, which makes sense. Because if we put it over here where the yard was, it's a bit too far away and things like that. So yes. Okay, right. We have 44 prisoners of a maximum of 50. It's not really a maximum of 50, it's a maximum of 48 because of just how it works. Because we've only got 2 for... we've got 2 for protective custody, which I should really check. So we will unpause that, and there we go. We're going to get 4 prisoners turning up as normal security. Fantastic. I'm going to have a sip of beverage here. Today's beverage is a nice cup of tea. So we need to go to intelligence and then to informants. We need to have a quick look. Volatile, skilled fighter, fearless, tough. Yeah, there's a couple of traits that we don't really know about, but nothing of great. There's nothing worrying me at the moment. There's nothing like, there's no legendary prisoners. The chances are we haven't got a legendary prisoner. If we did have one, it probably would have booted off by now fairly violently. So yeah, looks like the dog has smelled some cigs in that toilet, but then it teleported to the dog. It's just smelling there. Can I smell Super Kings? And then teleports. Right. Do I want to put some benches in here? The plan was to put benches in here, so I might as well put that in. Not going to put it at the entrance. Doesn't make sense to me. Right. Okay. So, a lot of prisoners showering away there. Some split up, some next to each other. Yeah, that's okay. That's alright. Looks like it's actually working. No prisoners going violent. It's all working out. So, we're going to receive a couple more prisoners. A lot of prisoners going for a poo and another toilet there. What's he called? I thought his name was Marigold there. It's Chris Deadfork Mareliagard, something like that. Cool. I'm terrible with names. We've just received some prisoners. We'll then say we don't want any prisoners. Cool. And we've got McChicken. John the Swift McChicken. Man has a name like that, you know he's meaning business. Paul Bray. And, Maxwell Silverhammer Edison. And Paul Hornick. They're all in. Cool. There's a spiritual leader. Ah. There you go. They're staring at the wall apparently. The way to enlightenment. The way to enlightenment is to count the bricks. Oh my good grief! Right, okay. So, actually, that's one thing that I haven't really done. There's obviously there's different spiritual leaders that the actual sprite changes. It's just basically random who what happens when they turn up, and you can play guess the religion when people turn up. So you go, is that Buddhism? Is that Christianity? You just have to sort of guess when they turn up. That's why I just call it generic faith. There we go. Right, let me just go to a little bit of the old... Do we want to put wooden floor in? We could put wooden floor in, but what I want to do instead, I actually want to go to a bit of the old utilities and put a phone tap in. I think it's about time we shove one of these phone taps in about there. I think, yeah, why not? Let's check my... Yeah, I need to power that up as well. Yeah, put a phone tap in because it's just something we haven't got. And they're useful. So, yeah, they're very, very useful. Long-term investment, we're actually going to get done. It has been a long-term investment for sure. How long have we spent building this prison? Actually, not long at all. Look at that time played. 2 hours, 39 minutes, and 30 seconds, basically. That's not long at all, really. For a prison like this, I'm getting faster at building these. I mean, after over 300 videos, you would assume. So, anyway, we need to go to our reports and then to a bit of the old programs. Check out our workshop safety induction and start that one off. Carpentry apprenticeship, nobody interested. General education qualification, nobody interested. Stroke qualified. And the guard taser certification, you know, probably most people want that. Sadly, we can't really have it. Right, parole. Let's have a quick look at parole. I want to max out my parole hearings as best I can. We'll start that. There is no teacher for that one, so we'll just call that a day. So we've got 4 parole hearings a day. That should be enough for everybody. But because of the way you receive prisoners, sometimes it can get a little bit... it's even worse now. Like... because you can receive, say, 50 prisoners at once. You can pretty much receive as many prisoners as you want in one go. Because of that, there's a bit of a problem where prisoners will turn up from low, medium, and high risk. If they're low risk, the chances of them being released at the same time is actually quite high because they serve generally 2 to 5 years, and then they'll basically every couple of days they'll be. You could cycle the entire prison if you received all at once and then they all left at once. You understand? The further you go up to high risk, the scale increases, so you could get someone that's in there for like triple homicide or something like that, which could be serving basically 50 years or whatever. And the chances are they might never leave your prison, but also they might be there for a while and then get parole or some such. But yeah, because you receive them all at once, sometimes there is a chance that they can all start leaving. So there'll be a lot of demand for the parole, and then it will then get cut off because there's then nobody up for parole because of the wave, and it's being compounded. That problem's being compounded by the oh my good grief, look at all the phones we got. It's been compounded by the introduction of the prisoner sort of intake selection. I just thought here what we could do if we really wanted to is have only these phones tapped. They're the ones that are known to be bugged and nobody uses them ever again. The problem with the phone tap is that you can only listen to one phone at once. So we could connect them all up, but in reality, is there any real point? I mean, I am going to connect them all up, because it just increases your chances, really, of finding something. Oh, good grief. As I said, you can connect as many up as you want, but you can only ever listen into one at a time. So what will happen is they'll cycle between them, and then eventually they will go, oh, that one's been active, and then they'll listen in on the call, and then you might find out about their traits. There we go. I think that's all the phones put in. That's fine. Right, so we have workshop done over there, or not done, but it's getting there. We will have a bit of money turning up in a couple of hours there, or probably about 30 seconds because they'll put it to max speed. We have actually a lot of prisoners working in the kitchen. We've only got 3 or 4 chefs. 1, 2, 3, 4 chefs. Yeah, we've got 4 cooks. So the majority of our staff in the kitchen is actually prisoners, so that's a good thing. As I said, reform. That's what we're trying to do. Looks like we've got that grant done, so we can go for another one. We can go for nutritional research. I'm not bothered about that. Governmental security rating. We get a little bit of money for armed guards and other things as well. So, I think it's about time we get on with the old armed guard thing. I think it is. What I'll do, I'll leave it there. Next episode, we will go for CCTV probably, because we need to get it in. We are getting actually not close to the end of this prison, but I think it's only got another couple of episodes in it before we have to think about expanding. But then again, I don't know what we can expand to. So, as always, comments in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.